It's Tanya, and I'm here with something different. Yes, I know I've done a couple, well, maybe one. I think I did one, Watercolor Madness. But this one, I actually like how it came out. Now, full disclosure, I am a complete novice, newbie, ignoramus when it comes to watercolors. I know a little bit from following Erik Landgraf and taking her watercolor basics class, but really I don't know a lot at all. So a lot of what I do is, just haphazard, and it doesn't always work out, and you know how it goes. But I have, as a child, I actually still do it. I had this game, and I know a lot of us have done it, where you look at clouds and you try and pick out shapes in the clouds. Usually it's animals or, something. And I have a tremendous amount of fun doing that. And even today, when I get bored, I look out at the clouds and I do the same thing. So once I had finished this background, which I have Prima watercolors and other watercolors in my watercolor palette there, I had a look at it and I didn't really know what to do, but then I spotted shapes, as you can see there. So I thought, well, what the heck, why don't I just draw around them and create fantasy animals? Although this one, I am super proud of this one. This one is my rhino, and I will admit that I had a rhino sticker up on one of my albums, which I was referencing, so that's why I'm able to do a even semi-decent, rendition of a rhino. But it just was so much fun, and I think I am definitely going to do it again, because I just looked at it and found shapes like this weird bird. And yeah, I have very limited drawing skills as well, I draw like a 5-year-old, but so what? It's all just art journaling and fantasy anyway. And yeah, I had some bleed through from a previous page that I had done, which is what those little things on the side were, and I thought they actually looked like faces. And he was meant to be a unicorn. Not really sure what he turned out to be, but I figured also, and this guy is kind of supposed to be almost like a dolphin, but it's very Dr. Zeus, like Horton Hears a Who, that kind of thing. And oh yes, my little, as you would have seen at the, pardon me, I have a bit of a cold. My little tortoise, which I showed you in the beginning of this video. So yeah, so there I was, and I had all these little fantasy, what are they? Creatures. So then I figured, okay, well, let's, again, I'm not very good with the shading or the coloring or anything. It's just what I've seen other people do. So I decided to bring in some of my paints, and I've got some of my mermaid markers, which I'm going to use as well. And I am just adding paint to my little characters. And just, I can't say it enough. It was just fun. And yeah, I don't really know what else to tell you other than what I'm doing at the moment. I mean, it's just, I can't even tell you what colors I'm using, because I'm not very good, and I haven't written down what colors I have there. I have swatched my watercolors. I have done that, but I don't actually know what colors they are. And some of them, as I said earlier, are the Prima confections. Some of them are paints that I have been gifted by Erik, and yeah, I think that's about all I have in my palette on so far, that you can't see at the moment, because, well, obviously I'm zoomed in too much. And as you can see, the sun is creeping in on the left hand side as well, which is why I'm going to shift myself over a bit, because I wanted to get this finished before, because I was in the zone, and painting, before I had to turn the camera off because the sun was too much. So there's my little tortoise, and I add in some of a sort of goldy yellow color to him to give him a bit more. Yeah, the left hand side is kind of a bit more realistic with the animals, whereas the right hand side is really weird. No one knows what they are. So this is the next day, and I figured I'm just going to add in a tiny bit more. And, obviously my tortoise needed something to stand on, otherwise he was floating in midair. And my fantasy bird, I added a bit more. That is one of the mermaid markers. I figured we needed to get some color. And there we go. I gave him spots. I should give them names, actually. My imagination is a bit depleted at the moment, so I can't really think off the cuff what kind of names I would give them, other than maybe Spotty and... No, I'm not going to do it. It's just silly. And then I figured I needed to put a quote on here. So I got a quote. I googled imagination quotes, and I got this lovely quote from Robin Williams, which I simply adore, and it says, "You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it." So I agree with that wholeheartedly, and that's what I figure this page is. A little bit of madness. So I was happy, and then I nearly finished, and then I figured, hang on, I've got a little creature on the right hand side there, so he's kind of like a crocodile, kind of, if you stretch your imagination really far. And I give him a bit of red and amongst his teeth, and there we go, I'm done. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and yeah, we'll chat again soon. Bye.